Welcome to SolidWorks Central. In this tutorial, we'll be creating a simple spring assembly and animating it using a motion study. I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you're ready, let's get started step by step. Let's start by opening a sketch on the front plane. Then, grab the line tool and draw a vertical line starting from the origin. We'll use this line as the path to create our spring. Now let's use the Smart Dimension tool to set our line to 160 mm. Alright, let's exit the sketch now. Let's open another sketch on the front plane and grab the Circle tool. Alright, let's use Smart Dimension to give our circle a 6 mm diameter. After that, set its distance from the origin to 20 mm. And to finish up, let's align the center of the circle with the origin horizontally. Alright, now we can exit the sketch again. Now, we're going to use the Swept command from the Features tab. Next, select both the circle and the line you've created. After selecting them, go to the Options section. Under Profile Twist, choose Specify Twist Value. Then, under Twist Control, set it to Revolutions. Alright, let's set the revolutions to 10 under Direction 1. Alright, go ahead and click OK. Now, we'll use the Cut with Surface tool to flatten the top and bottom of the spring. First, let's make the top plane visible. Next, let's make the vertical line we drew for the spring visible. Now go to Reference Geometry and choose Plane. For the first reference, select the vertical line. Then for the second reference, select the point. This will create a plane perpendicular to the line. Now go to the Surfaces tab and select the Cut with Surface command. For the cutting surface, select the plane we just created on the vertical line. Click on the plane and you'll see a direction arrow appear. This arrow shows which side of the plane will be cut. If it points down, it will cut below the plane. If it points up, it will cut above. Since we want to trim the top part of the spring, make sure the arrow is pointing upward. Once that's set, go ahead and complete the cut. Now let's do the same thing for the bottom side as well. Make sure the arrow is pointing downward because we want to cut the part below the plane. Now we can hide both the top plane and the new plane we just created. Alright, now let's add some colour to the spring we just made. You can choose any colour you want. Now let's save our spring part, create a new folder and name it Spring Animation. Then save the spring part inside that folder as Spring. Let's go ahead and start a new part. Just press Ctrl+N as a shortcut. We're going to create a base for the top and bottom of the spring. So now, let's open a sketch on the top plane. To create the base, let's use the Center Rectangle tool. Click on the origin to start your rectangle and drag it outwards. Now let's use the Smart Dimension tool to set one side to 80 mm. Hold down Shift or Ctrl and select the two lines you want to make equal. Then, from the pop-up near your cursor or on the left side, choose the Equal relation. Alright, now let's add some thickness using the Extruded feature. Make sure the direction is set to blind and the arrow pointing up. And set the depth to 10 mm. Now let's open a sketch on this surface. We're going to draw a circle that matches the size of our spring. Since it's 2026, the diameter should be 46 mm. And finally, we'll make a cut using Extruded cut, cutting half the thickness, so 5 mm. Alright, just like with the spring, let's add some colour to our support part. Feel free to choose whichever colour you want. Now let's save our support part. Save it as Support in the Spring Animation folder we created. Alright, let's move on to the assembly. You can press Ctrl+N or go to the File menu and start a new assembly file. First, let's select the part we want to keep fixed. Before placing it, make sure to turn on the origin visibility from the View section. This will help us place the part right at the origin of our assembly. Just move it close to the origin. SolidWorks will automatically snap it into place. Now let's take a look at the front, right and top planes. You'll see that our part is perfectly centered on all three planes. Let's add our spring to the assembly. Now let's create a mate between the spring and the support piece. Start by selecting the bottom face of the spring and the bottom face of the hole. Set them to coincident. Then, select the spring's line and the circular surface of the hole and apply a concentric mate. This keeps the spring aligned with the hole. Now let's add another support piece for the top of the spring. After selecting it, a small rotation box appears at the bottom. We'll use that to rotate the part. Rotate it twice around the x-axis and place it on top of the spring. Use the Mate tool again. In the Standard Mates section, select the two flat faces and apply a coincident mate. Do the same for the next two faces. Select and make them coincident. You can now exit the Mate tool. Let's drag our support part up a bit to create some space. Before moving forward, let's save this assembly. Go to Spring Animation folder and name the file Spring Animation. Now let's edit the spring part. You can either right-click or left-click and choose Edit Part. Open the sketch where the line is located and click Edit Sketch. We're going to delete the dimension that says 160 millimeters. We do this so that the spring can move freely up and down. Now hold down Control and select the free end of the line and the circular face of the hole. Apply a coincident relation. Now the line is locked to that face. Exit the sketch and also exit Edit Part. If Motion Study is not visible in your interface, right-click on the toolbar area. From the Toolbars list, activate Motion Manager. Make sure the Animation tab is selected. Move the timeline to 3 seconds, then drag the top support part downward to compress the spring halfway. Then move to 6 seconds on the timeline and drag the top support back upward. This will simulate the spring motion. Now click on Calculate to preview the animation. To make it loop continuously, go to Playback Settings and enable Loop. And that's it! We've created a simple spring animation in SolidWorks. This was a basic tutorial to show how to create motion using Motion Study. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and share the video. And subscribe for more SolidWorks tutorials and projects. Thanks for watching!